In today's video, I'm going to tell you why I think Sakupen Circles shouldn't be rated due to its short length, shit gameplay, and subpar decoration. If you enjoy the video, consider subscribing as it helps out my channel. Enjoy the video. The failures of Sakupen Circles can be categorized into three sections: the gameplay, length, and decoration. As the first two have several ties together, I'll be tackling them in the same section. When your Mega Collab is based on an impossible level from 1.9, its gameplay is probably going to be complete trash, and SAC is no exception. The worst part of the layout from the player's perspective is the fact that it takes every concept of how to balance a level and throws it out the window. If you look at most parts in any other list demon, the difficulty between parts are in the same ballpark most of the time, even for levels considered to be poorly balanced. But if you look at the gameplay in SAC before 20 seconds or after 42, the difficulty is astronomically different when compared to the stuff in between. If these wave parts were as easy as the rest of the level, it wouldn't even compare to top ones like Slaughterhouse and Firework. If the beginning and end parts were as difficult as the drop portion, it would be humanly impossible. And thus, Sakupen Circle's length can't really be taken at face value when all of its difficulty comes from just 18 seconds of gameplay. Yeah, 18 seconds. That's barely longer than VSC. In my video, Every Upcoming Top 1 Demon from Worst to Best, in which I described SAC as a challenge level and placed it at the very bottom of the list, I received several complaints for this analysis due to it technically being 50 seconds long. However, that's not exactly true. This huge difficulty spike is so massively incomparable to the parts that make up the majority of the layout that they don't even seem like they belong in the same level, especially considering how inorganic the transitions between the two polar opposites are. This disparity is so severe that I simply can't see how anyone can consider this a complete level with even the slightest hint of cohesion. Sakupen Circles is not a full level. It is an 18-second long challenge with filler gameplay half-heartedly placed around it in an attempt to push it to a semi-reasonable length. Can the last quarter of the level really be considered as actual length when 80% is considered a devastating fail? The complete imbalance of gameplay splits the challenge into three distinct parts that do not mold together into a single feature-worthy level. In addition, it makes this a complete nightmare for anyone trying to beat it. And before you write an essay in the comments about how I can't know how good the gameplay is because I haven't performed a run of it, you're wrong. In most cases you'd be right, but in cases where it's so blatantly obvious as it is now how atrocious the balancing is, you don't even need to play it to know it's awful. Just by looking at the discrepancies between parts, anyone with basic knowledge of level design and common sense can tell that this would be a chore to play for anyone other than a literal god. But hey, other short and god-awful levels have been rated, so why can't SAC? Well, that's different. Something like Koareta is similar to this challenge level in length and annoyance, but it earns a star rate by at least having some sense of balance except for the frame-perfect timing at 1%. Also, in order for short levels to be rate-worthy, they need to have a better standard of decoration than SAC. A lot of people have claimed that Sakupen Circles has great decoration, and if you look at the first part of the level, you might think that's true. However, such is not the case later on in the challenge. The first part is quite beautiful and makes it look like a feature-worthy level. The second part is good, but is quite empty besides block design, and it's straight downhill from there. The rest of the pre-drop has 1.9 block deco. In the ball part, they abandon it entirely and just spam invisible blocks. But none of that compares to how horrendous the drop looks. This is quite possibly the worst take on 9 Circles style in an extreme demon, although I guess I should be praising the decorator's use of theme. They managed to capture the chaotic nature of the last drop by pulsing a bunch of random ass objects and expecting it to look good. Overall, the decoration is mediocre at best to add on to the glaring issues of the gameplay. SAC is plagued by many problems that make it unplayable. They also could have done a much better job of decorating it, and due to the massive jumps in difficulty, Sakupen Circles cannot be considered a cohesive level, and therefore should not be rated. Levels of similar length get rated all the time, but only if they are good, unique, or at least half decent. And when the meat and potatoes of the project is only 18 seconds long, it definitely doesn't deserve a spot in the awarded section. That being said, this is just my opinion and should not be taken as fact. It is perfectly fine to disagree with each other and have respectful discussions about it. Please be sure to let me know if you think SAC should or shouldn't be rated and why. And be sure to like and subscribe, and check out my other content, such as Should Silent Club be rated? Or check out this other video. Thanks for watching!